Just when I thought 2020 was the year of inappropriate behavior involving children, it turns out that 2020 is actually the year of lawsuits and getting sued. The word lawsuit has been used so much lately that I really feel the need to talk about some of the lawsuit threats and lawsuits that are currently happening. I will talk about the lawsuit stuff to the best of my ability. I'm not a lawyer, but I did do my research. Sorry, what a nasty cough. Can't imagine what caused me to blare out that noise. Anyways, before I get into it, subscribe, because if I blow up, you'll be able to say you're here before 500 subs, and boy, wouldn't that feel good. So first, I want to talk about the Tati and James Westbrook lawsuit, and don't worry, I'll also talk about Tati's response to the lawsuit. The only reason I understand anything that this lawsuit is saying is because I watched this really nice lawyer, Emily D. Baker, breaking it down page by page. I highly recommend checking out her video because it's really good. Tati and her husband, James Westbrook, are getting sued by their Halo Beauty partner, who we'll call Mr. C, and Mr. C is also suing them on the behalf of Halo Beauty Incorporated. Essentially, Halo Beauty is suing Halo Beauty. Here's the lawsuit's backstory according to Mr. C. Keep in mind that these are allegations. Tati and her husband plan a vitamin business that was split 50-50 between Tati and James Westbrook and Mr. Westbrook's old friend, Mr. C. So Tati and her husband had a 50% share of Halo Beauty, while Mr. C had the other 50%. However, Tati and her husband were allegedly unhappy with this deal, so they made a new deal with Mr. C to get 66% of Halo Beauty's shares as opposed to the original 50%. The deal was that, in exchange for the Westbrooks to own 66% of the company, Tati would launch all her future beauty products under Halo Beauty. Mr. C accepted. Halo Beauty's first launch was a success, and the Westbrooks made millions of dollars thanks to that extra 16.66% boost Mr. C gave them with that deal. Mr. C was also happy though, because Tati's influence and online presence boosted sales and greatly contributed to the success of Halo Beauty. However, it all started to crumble for Mr. C because, according to the lawsuit, Tati and her husband are greedy bastards. Instead of honoring their agreement that Halo Beauty would be the umbrella for all of Tati's beauty launches, Tati and her husband launched a color palette without Mr. C or Halo Beauty. The palette was launched under Tati Beauty and not Halo Beauty. Mr. C claimed that Tati and her husband failed to fulfill their fiduciary duties to Halo Beauty. A fiduciary duty is a legal obligation to another entity or individual. What lawyer Emily D. Baker said, again check her out, is that when you're the head of a company, you are obligated to do what's in the best interest of that company. Based on this lawsuit, as you can see, Tati starting Tati Beauty is not what's in the best interest of Halo Beauty. It actually hurts Halo Beauty because now they basically have a new competitor in an industry that already feels saturated with competition, and that competitor is also the face and owner of their brand. Allegedly, Halo Beauty was intended to be more than just a vitamin company. It's also supposed to be other beauty products as well, and what's gonna happen if they want to launch a new palette? Well, consumers will already have a Tati palette, so why would they buy another Tati palette that came out around the same time with the Tati palette they already have? Tati's the face of both, so why would they go out and buy the same thing? The thing that would be in the best interest of Halo Beauty, if it really is more than just a vitamin company, would obviously be that Tati launched her palette under their name and not under a new company named Tati Beauty. Again, the things in this lawsuit are allegations, not proven facts. The facts come after the court case, and the court case hasn't happened yet. The lawsuit says that Tati told Mr. C that her influencer friends like Jeffree Star, Manny MUA, Laura Lee, and James Charles would promote her products in exchange of her promoting theirs. Mr. C says that the deal was undercut when James Charles promoted Sugar Bear hair in his Instagram story. People have been saying, oh, this is why Tati made a big deal out of James Charles promoting Sugar Bear hair. She told her business partner that her and her friends would only promote Halo, yada yada yada. But this doesn't excuse anything. Your friends don't have an obligation to not promote your competing brands. You were the one allegedly under contract, Tati, not James Charles or any of your other friends. Sure, it's embarrassing for your business partner to see your friend promoting the competition, but you, Tati, are not in charge of your friend's actions. You can't force James to decline a brand deal from Sugar Bear Hair. And yeah, you can be mad at him, but don't turn on the camera and put false predatory allegations against him. If I was the owner of the Kroger brand chips and Frito-Lay was my biggest competitor and my friend promoted them for Coachella tickets, yeah, I'd be upset, but at the end of the day, they can do whatever they want. It's literally nothing personal, it's just business, and if we're actually friends and I'm upset, we talk this out, not turn the internet into a nuke crater. Miss Emily D. Baker made a very good point in her video. She said that she didn't see Manny MUA, Laura Lee, and Jeffree Star promote Halo Beauty. They aren't even friends anymore. I don't know if Mr. C took note of this or not, because I would think that this would also undercut the deal him and the Westbrooks made. I'd promote the heck out of Sugar Bear Hair if Tati had a fallout with me, just saying. I wonder if promoting Sugar Bear Hair after not being friends with Tati anymore would also be an undercut to the deal. The point of this was that Tati's big influencer friends would promote her products and boost sales, but what happens is she cuts ties with them. Does this mean that Tati's not holding up to her end of the deal, or that it's not her fault because she said that her friends would promote it, and if she cuts ties with them, they're technically not friends anymore? So a lot of people are all like, oh, that's why Tati started the Bi Sister scandal, guys. See, she's not that bad, see? You know what barely anyone's been talking about? Barely anyone's been talking about what Tati allegedly said about her audience. She allegedly said that what I put my name on is going to sell, period, because of the 7 years I put into building an audience. And claimed that it didn't matter if the product was trash, she could still sell it to her loyal audience. Dang, why would you consider selling trash to your audience? Don't you care about them? I get that she was trying to persuade Mr. C into taking the deal, but why is she talking about her followers like that? She could have been like, since I have a beauty channel, my audience will be more than happy to buy her beauty products. She didn't even have to bring up the quality or talk down about her audience like that. What if the products were trash? Would you still sell them to your audience because they'd still buy them? This was allegedly said though, so we don't know if she actually said it. If she did say it though, I wouldn't be surprised. What can you expect from someone who tore down their mentee and friend like that? I'm so tired of people defending Tati so much. Stop it. Stop going around her issues. Stop saying that she didn't technically say James was a PE redditor, and stop saying that this was Jeffree and Shane's doing, because it wasn't. All three of them, Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, and Tati, had something to gain from tearing James Charles down. Jeffree Star, the title of the biggest YouTube beauty guru. Shane Dawson, more success for the conspiracy palette. And Tati, more vitamin sales. All three of them are bastards in my humble opinion. I don't care if Tati cries in her videos. I don't care if she's a woman, and I don't care if the lawsuit makes her sad. She's still a bastard in my eyes. With that being said, Tati's lawyers have recently given her and her husband's side of the story. I don't like Tatiana Westbrook, but I have to play fair. I can't just give you one side, that would be ignorant, so we're gonna look at her legal response. These documents were brought to you by lawyer Emily D. Baker. Again, go check her out, maybe I'll get her 2 or 3 new subscribers. Naturally, these documents describe everything in a whole different light. Lawyers are masters at wording things because of course they are. Note that these are also allegations, the facts come after the court case. These documents allege that the reason the agreement that the company would be 50% Tati and her husband and 50% Mr. C's was scrapped because Mr. C failed to fulfill his duties. I believe that he was responsible for managing the day-to-day operation of the company, funding the company, and formulating the vitamins. The document claimed that Mr. C was unreliable and facetious, even citing that Mr. C had to get $100,000 for Halo Beauty from this other dude without telling the Westbrooks. The Westbrooks thought that Mr. C had the $200,000 to fund the company, but it turned out he only had $100,000 and the other $100,000 came from someone else. Mr. C allegedly also habitually failed to pay the customer support personnel and failed to pay the vendors on time. As a result of Mr. C's unreliability and shadiness, James Westbrook took over Mr. C's responsibility of running the day-to-day operation of the company, which meant that James and Tati would get more percentage of the shares, 13.33% more to be exact. The documents also said that Tati and James never agreed that Halo Beauty would be Tati's umbrella for all her products. They just agreed that Tati and her husband couldn't start a vitamin brand because that would go against Halo Beauty's best interests. In other words, they agreed that Halo Beauty was only going to be for vitamins and ingestible beauty stuff and not things that you can't ingest like makeup. The documents also sprinkled in bad stuff about Mr. C, just like he did in his lawsuit papers against the Westbrooks. Tati's documents mentioned how Mr. C embarrassed them in front of Jeffree Star by following Jeffree Star to his Lamborghini and trying to sit in it. Mr. C also uploaded a picture of the Lamborghini on Instagram. What a weird dude. The documents also said that Mr. C was addicted to medicine. I don't know if I could say the D word on YouTube. The rug D word, not the ick D word. No, he's not addicted to PP as far as I know. There are also claims that Mr. C would behave inappropriately toward women. It said that he touched their elbows and knees and stuff. If the things alleged are true, then I don't think this guy has a concept of personal space. He was probably that kid in elementary school lines that couldn't keep his hands behind his back. Here's where things from Mr. C's lawsuit keep getting contradicted. He sounded really bitter in his lawsuit, but this document says that when Tati and her husband told Mr. C about Tati Beauty, he congratulated Tati and came to the Tati Beauty launch party. He even asked for PR from Tati for his girlfriend and daughter, and she sent it to them. There's a YouTube video of his daughter using the Tati palette. Here's the most hard-hitting piece of evidence. Ready? The Halo Beauty name is trademarked for protection under the dietary and nutritional supplements field. I.e., Tati didn't dishonor her fiduciary duties because she didn't launch vitamins under a different company. She launched a palette. A palette is not a dietary supplement, which means that Tati Beauty isn't competing with Halo Beauty. It looks to me like Tati and her husband are winning this battle just because of the trademark. I'm not a lawyer though, and Mr. C might file a counterclaim or whatever it's called. Who knows? Okay, moving on to the next lawsuit, Tati versus Without a Crystal Ball, who I will be referring to as Katie Joy or Katie. Something to note is that the document said that this is a $5 million lawsuit. That doesn't mean that Katie Joy owes Tati $5 million, but that Tati claims that there was $5 million worth of damages. The judge is the one who decides how much the damages, if any, are worth. Katie was actually making a fool of herself, in my opinion, on her Twitter by tweeting all these things about freedom of speech and us feeling so silly after the trial, and it's like, lady, stop tweeting about the lawsuit. You're giving Tati's lawyers more material to work with. You're working against your own favor. Let's dive into the defamation claims because this lawsuit is over defamation. First, let me say that Katie has dug deep into Tati's personal life in the past. I remember this clip of her that was circling around where she said that she was looking for Tati's birth certificate and insinuated that Tati's father was in the mafia.
Remember how I told you I was going to try to do something where I exposed Tati Westbrook? And I was like looking, and I've been doing this for 2 days straight now. 2 days. I started playing around even more and digging through more and more information, going through marriage records and through birth certificates. I couldn't even find her birth certificate, which is weird. There's like 0 records of her father, like 0 records. So then I start going on and I'm like getting into this conspiracy, thinking like her dad is dead, or like why doesn't her dad have a job, or her dad's in the mafia.
It was weird. So I'm pretty sure Tati/Tati's lawyers asked Katie to take down her Tati videos, and she did. But then she put them back up because, oh, freedom of speech. Yeah, Katie, freedom of speech is a thing, but it doesn't protect slander and presenting opinions as facts like you did. For example, she said Tati was selling snake oil. That's not an opinion. When you say someone's selling snake oil, what are we supposed to think? Even if you do put a disclaimer at the beginning, it sounds like a fact. Alright, I'm gonna pretend that I have no elementary school education and say that this is an opinion. Where did this opinion come from? What is it based on, or did you just make it up? See what I mean? Karma bitter good. I think that multiple people have told her to take down her videos and stop tweeting about the case, but she's too stubborn, so that's what she gets. Okay guys, I just found out something insane. Katie Joy wants to sue Emily D. Baker, the nice lawyer I can't shut up about, for defamation. Are you sick and kidding me? The sweet woman who has helped all us non-lawyers understand what's going on? You're gonna sue her? Katie said that it's unethical for Miss Baker to take a side while talking about the Tati lawsuit against her, but she can take a side. Having an opinion isn't against the freaking law. Presenting opinions as facts is, but Miss Baker draws a clear line between what her opinion is and what the facts are. Katie also threatened to sue anyone who calls her a stalker. In my humble opinion, Katie Joy, you're a creepy stalker, and that's based on the fact that you were looking for someone else's birth certificate. There's nothing illegal about what I just said because, hey, it's an opinion and I have facts on which I base this opinion on and drew a clear line between the two. You're another breed of ignorant, in my opinion, and I firmly believe that tweeting about the lawsuit mess you're in right now is dumb. Moving on to our next lawsuit, Jeffree Star is getting sued by Anna Nicole Smith's estate. Anna passed away in 2007 and her estate owns the rights to her brand. Jeffree was accused of using Anna Nicole's image, name, and likeness to sell products. Jeffree was allegedly selling a lipstick named Anna Nicole, which was in her signature red color, and other products that used similar packaging and marketing as her brand. Anna Nicole Smith's estate claims that Jeffree never asked them for permission. Jeffree's Anna Nicole eyeliner was sold out on Jeffree's website and is one of Jeffree's top-selling products of all time. What Anna Nicole Smith's estate wants from this lawsuit is that Jeffree hands over all the money he made from using Anna's brand. Doesn't Jeffree have lawyers to oversee that his products don't get him into lawsuits like these? I'm not basing this off Jeffree Star information, I just thought that businesses had those. Even if he doesn't have those kinds of lawyers, wasn't it obvious that you can't use someone else's brand without permission to sell your products? Jeffree hasn't responded to this lawsuit. Moving on to talk about a possible lawsuit. A week or so ago, Nikocado Avocado copyright struck Sesh's mukbang compilation channel. She called it a parody channel, but it's not a parody channel, it's a compilation channel. The compilations were allegedly not transformative content since they didn't have a substantial amount of commentary and were monetized, which means that she was making money off of other people's clips. I didn't know this, but if one of your channels gets 3 strikes, like Sesh's did from Nikocado, all your channels will get terminated. So not only is her mukbang compilation channel screwed, but her main channel is screwed as well. I think she filed a counterclaim because her channels were supposed to be deleted on November 3rd and today is November 9th. However, by filing a counterclaim, you're opening yourself up to a lawsuit. Nikocado has mentioned that he's willing to take this to court as he already has 2 pending cases. I couldn't find those tweets about the lawsuit on his Twitter, so I have no idea what happened. Maybe his lawyer told him to delete them because it's better not to tweet about an upcoming / ongoing lawsuit. Maybe they handled it behind the scenes. Neither side has provided an update as far as I know. What I do know is that both of Sesh's channels are still up. I think that's it for now. I've talked about 3 lawsuits going on and 1 possible upcoming lawsuit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash like, subscribe. Bye.